All right. You guys know if the show is starting early, it's usually not a good sign, folks. Usually not a good sign, but we're going to get this thing cracking here in just a moment, man. Of course, I got to send the link out to a few special people. And then we're going to do this panel style tonight, man. It will be myself along with Tony and Kenyon. So let me get those guys involved. Give me a hot second, guys. And if you're like me, you're probably not feeling too good right now. The game is still on. And like I said, if I'm already starting the show, it's usually not a good sign. The only other time I would start it early is if we're blowing a team out. Clearly, that is not the case here tonight, as I do still have the game on. You know, just interested to see how some of these guys are playing. You know, the Patriots are still eating up yards on us. So give me a hot second, guys, and we'll get it rolling. Let me share the link out. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What a horrible night for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm going to give you my early and quick reflections. And then I will definitely bring in the guys and we'll do our panel style. We'll take a few phone calls, guys. Maybe not a lot. Again, we're still going to keep it within an hour. All right, so I'm done sending out the link. I believe I've sent it to everybody who needs it. Let's look at this play here. Another third down completion to Julian Edelman. We have not been able to cover this guy. On third down. So, all right. Y'all know the routine. We're going to do the quick roll call, man, and see what you guys got to say. I see a lot of things out here, man, that I'm going to disagree with in principle. What up to Jordan Mid, Michael Garman, Maurice Webb, Blair O'Neill, Carl Bigart, Ali Howard, Scott Satodi, Fun Guy, Lethal Dribbles 2K, Joseph Lechuga, Alonzo Gray, The Hawk, Christian Gonzalez, Taquan Wiggins, and we'll stop it right there, man. I don't want to be all night just giving shout outs. But a couple things that you guys are probably saying. I'm not going to agree with everything, but I will agree with some of the things. All right, so let's get started. All right, let's get it started. Let me see if my guys have called in already. Give me a second. I see we have Tony in the queue. Tony, just hold tight. I'm going to bring you and Kenyon on in a moment. Kenyon, if you're listening, definitely go ahead and call in. I'll bring you guys on when we want to start our discussion. You know, I'm going to go ahead and get through my routine really quick. I'm going to be brief. I'm just going to talk about the things that stood out to me first and foremost. I'm not even going to waste time tonight, guys, on talking about, and there's Kenyon, I believe. And Kenyon, just confirm that 390 is your prefix. I remember one time somebody else called with an 818, and I thought it was you. But all right, not even going to waste my time with the first and second, you know, the first series of the offense, first series of the defense. Clearly, it doesn't matter now, right? But let's talk about it. First thing I noticed right out the gate, interesting topic here. TJ Watt was communicating on defense, not Devin Bush. And why is that important? Is because Devin Bush started the game, right? No Vince Williams. We saw more Devin Bush and Mark Barron tonight. So, you know, we'll put that as a side note. I know nobody's feeling good right now because we're getting our teeth kicked in. But it's just something to pay attention to. Let's see. Cam Kelly gets exposed tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Kelly. He got exposed tonight in coverage. Cam Kelly did not look good in coverage. On that last touchdown that we saw to Dorsett, I have zero idea what Cam Kelly was doing. It definitely seems like there's some miscommunication between Cam Kelly and Mike Hilton. Mike Tomlin, they panned to him on that last touchdown, and he was furious. Furious. Now, I know some of you guys, you know, you guys are going to say fire Tomlin and all of that, whatever. You know, every time we lose, people want to fire somebody. If it's not Tomlin, it's Butler. If it's not Butler, it's somebody else. And again, it's not that I don't agree with some of you guys with some of the decisions the coaches are making, but we can't have that attitude when we're losing, but then we don't say that when we're winning. So don't be biased, right? Don't be result driven. Here's the thing. Clearly, there's some things that I just don't understand what goes on with the Steelers in terms of communication on the back end. We got to say it is a coaching thing. You know, I have this conversation with my father-in-law, Leonard, all the time. In fact, we had it tonight. You know, I watched the game at his house at halftime, and I walked over to my house, you know, after the half. And it's easy to point to coaching. You guys are going to see me, you know, look at the screen because I'm still watching the game. Brady is still out there adding insult to injury. Artie Burns is out there right now. You can always say that New England and Bill Belichick is the coaching. It's the coaching. Okay, I can agree with that. Obviously, they do a great job coaching. They're a disciplined team. But if we're going to say that, we got to say that about every other team, right? It ain't just the Pittsburgh Steelers that they do it to. New England just seems to be the Bulls from back in the day. The team that they're just the best of the era. It just is what it is. And I get it. It doesn't make it easier for us to stomach. I'm just stating the facts. I can't keep going to that and saying, oh, well, they're just better. They're better than everybody. You know, so it ain't just our Steelers. Even though we did finally beat them last year, they just seem to have the number of the teams that they play when they need to have their number. We were not ready for the Patriots tonight, clearly. One thing I did want to talk about, I wanted to quote this before I forget what Chris Collinsworth said, if you guys were listening. I agree with him 100%. 100%. I like what the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to do defensively. We're just not there yet. Excuse me. I do like more of the adding the man coverage aspect, and it seems like it's going to be, you know, heavily favored. We're just not ready to face a Tom Brady and a Josh McDaniels coached offense. Clearly, they killed us with rub routes and crossing patterns when we were in man coverage. There was a time where Butler made the right call and he went into zone and we got him off the field instead of playing man. We got to do more of that, Keith Butler. I'm going to pick with Keith Butler and I'm going to pick with Randy Fichtner. What did I notice the most about tonight so far? Predictability on defense and on offense. Come on, Randy Fichtner. I'm going to get to Randy Fichtner in a minute. But Keith Butler, I get it. Okay, we're going to be more man heavy, but we need you to mix this up a little bit. Why are we not disguising coverage more? Why are we not disguising? Brady knows exactly what we're doing. We don't do enough moving around, enough mix and match. We cannot do this. And like you guys are saying, maybe it is time for Keith Butler to go. I'm not going to disagree with that. I will never disagree with that. But all I'm saying is, we got to put the onus on some of these players as much as we do the coaches. Cam Kelly had a horrible night tonight. Okay? Mike Hilton didn't have a great night tonight. Joe Hayden didn't really have a great night tonight. Terrell Edmonds made a few mistakes, but Terrell Edmonds made a couple plays. You know, that laid the big hit. He rotated. He got there with Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon held on to the ball, but I look at the bright side of that. That's something that we haven't seen out of our safeties. Terrell Edmonds was at least there, but there were other situations where Edmonds or Cam Kelly were nowhere to be found. I don't know what's going on with the defense. Cam Kelly, his best moments tonight was in his tackling, his run support. But coverage-wise, he got exposed tonight. And like I said, it's Tom Brady. You know, like my brother Kenyon said, and I'll let him say it himself when I bring both of him and Tony on, we faced the top of the food chain tonight, and they ate us for lunch. It's just that simple. What else did I want to talk about? James Washington. Why did James Washington step out of bounds? When I saw it at regular speed, I thought, okay, maybe his momentum carried him. Then when I looked at it a second time, why did he look back after he ran out of bounds like he was expecting somebody to be there? What was that? He was in front of both of the McCourties, if I'm not mistaken. And we were on like the 19 or so yard line. He could have probably almost got there, if not got there. Why did he run out of bounds? Again, at first glance, I thought maybe his momentum carried him out of bounds, but it looked like he just stepped out. That was a touchdown, folks. That was more than likely a touchdown. I don't understand that. Now, I'm not going to beat James Washington up because in both attempts, well, maybe 2 or 3 attempts I saw tonight, he had a step on his guy deep. James Washington is going to be one of our deep threats. I see that coming. He had a step on his guy. Johnny Holton had a step on his guy both times. The first time early in the game, Ben puts that out a little more. Maybe that's a catch. So what I did see tonight is we're going to have some one-on-one opportunities. Now, speaking of opportunities, Juju Smith-Schuster got clamped down tonight, folks. Our offense is not the same. And listen, we warned ourselves of that. But our offense is not the same. It's definitely not. Okay? And I'm not going to dive into the whole AB situation. I'm not going to waste my time with that tonight. Maybe we'll talk about it Tuesday, excuse me. Our offense is not the same without Antonio Brown. We saw our offense without Le'Veon Bell, and we were able to make do. It's not the same, at least tonight against the Patriots. It's still early. It's still early. Don't go panicking. We know for the last few years, our Steelers have started off super slow. I know. It sucks, but let's not act like we haven't seen this story before. A couple other things I want to talk about, then I'm going to bring the brothers on and we'll get the panel going. Devin Bush was pretty solid in pass coverage. You know, he made a couple mistakes tonight. Play action was killing us. Both him and Barron were jumping play action like they've never seen it in a football game. And it was leaving guys wide open across the middle and leaving guys like Hilton in one-on-one coverage, which again, Hilton is not looking good coverage-wise. And our offense, last thing, so predictable. First of all, what I don't like about the offense, we come out in 5 wide extremely late. And what I mean by that is, why does it take so long for us to get some tempo going? It's like we try to stick to the script too much. Did you see what the Patriots did? They came right out there and ran a trick play. Right out there, immediately, and ran a trick play on us in the second drive, or might have been the first drive. And then they were doing some up-tempo things to get a rhythm going. We did not. It took us until the third drive, I believe, to even try to sit in 5 wide. But then even when we did that, we were extremely predictable. Short routes, pivot routes, out routes. And what about the possession when we ran the ball 3 consecutive times with Vance McDonald going in motion? The first down, Vance McDonald comes in motion. We pitch it out to Connor. Connor picks up about 5-6 yards maybe. Vance McDonald in motion again. We run a different type of run. Nothing really doing. Third down, we go back to that first down play. And they stop us. Disguise, guys. You have to disguise what you're doing on offense and defense. And that's just my thoughts, man. Again, I'm about to bring the fellas on. And we're going to have our segment here. You know, we're going to have our panel discussion. We are sitting at about 13 minutes. So we got up until an hour. And 443, we'll bring you in momentarily. You know, we'll take some calls here and there. But, you know, let's just go ahead and get it started, man. And yeah, very disgusted by what I'm seeing. Let me see what's going on here now. We got them in a fourth down and 16. And I'm going to keep watching, man, because I just want to see some type of rhythm. But anyway, let me get the brothers on, man. I got Tony on here. And Kenyon, I believe. What's up, fellas?
Hey, brother.
What's up? Man, guys, hold on. Let's make sure everybody can hear y'all. Guys, give me a thumbs up.
You can do, man.
Let me know y'all can hear Tony and hear Kenya, man. But I said my little piece, man. And I see, you know, people got some crazy comments going here. Can you guys chill on the language, man? I mean, my Nightbot is blocking y'all, but come on, man. Why is that necessary? But what y'all got, man? Whichever one of y'all want to start, let's talk. How y'all feel about this night, man?
Well, you should go first, Tony, because you know.
Yeah,
you know I'm gonna take it. So.
Yeah, you know what? I saw first, and you just knock it out of the park, man. I mean, wow. Everything that everyone wants to happen is not going to happen. You can say fire Mike Tomlin. You can say everything that you want to say is not going to happen. I mean, it just seemed like to me that we just didn't execute the way we were supposed to. I mean, everyone didn't do their job tonight. You know, just like, I mean, wow. I mean, wide receivers loose in through the middle. Come on, it seemed like that was something that we've been dealing with the last couple of years or so.
And our wide receivers couldn't get open.
Our wide receivers couldn't even get open. You know, and that leads me to something else, which I'm gonna bring that back up. But I mean, let me ask you a question. Didn't New England have a new some offensive linemen, and we had the same old offensive linemen, and it seemed like that they were just having their way with our offensive line? I mean, it's just they blocked for Brady. Ben was feeling that pressure sometimes unless he stepped all the way back. It was just a whole lot of things that was just, and it got ugly like real quick. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little bothered. I told you guys that, but I have to be, you know, objective on what I've seen. New England has a great team with great coaches, and they put their players in very good position, which a lot of times, like you were saying, Sim, that we try to blame it on coaching a lot, and which in some ways it was tonight, but also we got to look at the players. The players wasn't executing the way that they were supposed to execute. They were just doing things. I mean, they wasn't, you know, doing their job like they were supposed to, you know. And you know, from the coaching aspect, I just look at it like it seems like, you know, we are set. Sometimes it just seems to me, you guys can correct me, it's just like we have players and we're trying to, like, for example, the offensive defensive coordinator, I mean, they're like doing things to fit their players. It just seems like we try to do things that, you know, just like it's almost like, I'm not going to say like we have Antonio Brown out there. You know what's happening now, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Somebody,
I want to cut in real quick just to let you know how bad it's happening, because you probably ain't watching it. So Pounce, because
no.
Yeah, you probably left where you was at. Pouncey went out. You know, he walked off the field, but he went out a little bit. And Finney is at center. We just got a false start. Everybody moved except for Finney. He didn't hike the ball. That's the type of night that we have. Come on, man. Uh-oh, Juju just got loose.
All you can do is just laugh at it, man.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do is laugh at it. I mean, I'm very disappointed. You know, obviously we know that this is just the first game, but just when you look at New England, it's like they just didn't. It's just that they're picking up where they left off with. I mean, you know, left off at. I mean, we have a veteran team. I mean, a lot of veterans veterans on the other side of the ball, veterans on our side, you know, offensive line, and we're just doing these type of things. I mean, it's nothing else that I can really say, but it's just like what I was just trying to say was like, you look at the coaching. I mean, it's like, you can't blame everything on them, but it's just like, if you guys understand what I'm saying, you have a brand new offensive line, and they're blocking like they've been together, like our offensive line been together.
TJ Watt, the only one getting pressure tonight. The only one.
I'm not gonna even start on number. I'm not gonna start on number 48. I'm not gonna even mess with Keegan like that.
He did get a sack though. He did get a sack tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like they were doing things, man, to open up the team, you know, the game, and it was like we couldn't execute at all. And I'm not going to just blame it on New England all the time, because just like they're able to open up, I mean, you're talking about new The only person that's been on that team, Josh Gordon was out half of the year last year. Edelman is the only person that I can think of right now. You guys correct me. That is a staple of that offense. All of those other wide receivers, that rookie wide receiver that caught that big pass in the middle of the field. Come on. And I can see Edelman, but I mean everybody else. Come on. I mean, you know, I know James Washington running out the backfield and all that type of stuff. It's like we just couldn't execute. And I know New England has a great secondary and everything like that. I mean, Vance McDonald. I mean, come on. We couldn't even get nothing to Vance McDonald. We couldn't spread it out. It was like you're afraid to spread it out. You're afraid to spread it out. Why was you afraid to spread it out? Why? Oh, because the offensive line is not being blocked. Marquise Pouncey getting pushed around, and Al getting pushed around too. And then on this defense, all they're doing is pick plays, all just about all games. So that's all I have to say about that right there.
And there goes the Roethlisberger interception.
Optimistic.
There it is. You know he gotta give you one of those. In the offensive line,
give you an interception.
They just got into it with Winovich for something. He must have hit Ben late or something. But see, this is what I'm talking about, Tony and Kenya. I'm so disappointed in the predictability of the offense and defense tonight. Why so many deep shots? Why so? And clearly, this is what I want to point out for anybody who's still watching this game. You see the play that McCourty just made? That's how you supposed to play center field, right?
Yep.
That ain't have nothing to do with Belichick. They were playing a coverage. It looked like cover one. He rotated to the ball. And this is what I be talking about when I say we can't keep saying, granted, I say it's time to get rid of Butler. I want to try a different scheme. I'm on board with that. But I don't think we can keep saying it's just coaching. No. Cam Kelly looked like an AAF player tonight in coverage. Period. McCourty just showed you how you're supposed to play center field. I mean, that's safety play 101. So that's all, man. And Moncrief, Moncrief got to go. I'm done with Moncrief.
Drop the ball. Drop it. Everything. He drops everything, man.
Yo, you guys are funny to me because, like, I'm calm. Everything is good with me because, to me, it was always it's always an execution thing, and people are ready to jump off the ship like the Titanic after the first week of the season.
Week
You're playing
one,
the Patriots.
Right.
You're playing the Patriots. Sim said it. They are the Bulls. So until you get a way to find and beat them and adjust, which we started to adjust. We're just 4 years late to adjusting. The Keith Butler thing, I talked about Keith Butler 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, Sam. Did I not? In the summer?
Yeah.
I made my comments about Keith Butler. So I'm not talking about Keith Butler. I'm not talking about 48. I'm not talking about any of these other problems that you see. They play man coverage. I told Sam earlier when we were texting, I make points to certain things. Like I told you, switch for a slot receiver. I've never seen a slot receiver not get yak yards, but Switz does that every game. He does that every game. So I guess he beat Eli because of the punt return coverage and all that stuff. But my personal opinion is that they should groom. I just have a feeling you're gonna start seeing Deontay Johnson more and more in the slot. He got more snaps today than I thought he was gonna get anyway. So you might start seeing him a little bit more and more if he can pick up the offense because he's more dynamic. And then as far as the defense goes, there's nothing you can do when Tom Brady's getting the ball in 2 seconds. He gets rid of the ball in 2 seconds. So you have to play great man coverage. And Joe Hayden didn't have a great night, as Sim pointed out. I'm trying to be nice to Cam Kelly.
Yeah.
I don't think what I should say.
The stage was too big for him. Let me ask you this, Kenya, and I want to hear Tony's opinion too, because I like to be honest, with the viewers and people on Twitter. Sometimes I don't listen to everybody's opinion. But let me preference what I'm saying. Some people are just reacting from the fan gut, the gut reaction. So I don't take everyone's opinion as, you know what I mean? Like it's certain people's opinions that I know where it's coming from. I know where your opinion is gonna come from. So I might say, Kenya, what you think about this? And Tony, what you think about this? But I see a lot of people saying we were unprepared. Here's my question. I've always wanted to know this. How do we know? Like, what makes us know that we're prepared? So if we would have came out here and we would have shut them down or what have you, so then we would have said, oh, we were prepared. But what was done differently during the week for us to, you know, understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how, from the average fan, how do we run to that so fast? I can't say we weren't prepared, but what y'all think, man?
Yeah, we were prepared. I mean, it has nothing to do with that. Two teams get on the field, one team executes better than the other one. The Patriots don't make mistakes, and we seem to make mistakes against them. It's funny. Last year, were we prepared against the Patriots?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
I mean, that's my point. Like,
right.
It's a knee-jerk reaction. We live in a society where, you know, one game, everybody's ready to bail and leave. And I always told you, Sam, people that do that, they're not really a fan of the team. You know what I'm saying? They're fair weather fans. And, you know, fair weather fans, I can't rock with fair weather fans. I can't really have a discussion with those people because you know what they're going to say. You know what I mean? Like, I can kind of telegraph what they're going to say before they say it. So, you know, Bill Belichick is going to prepare. He's going to he forces you to do what you don't want to do. And if you can't adjust to that, you can't beat him. Actually, if you think about it, he used to do this to Andy Reid all the time. But Andy Reid has the weapons now where Belichick can't do it. And he did it to him in the AFC Championship game last year because he just ran the ball and kept the ball away from him. So you're dealing with the greatest coach, the GOAT coach. So until you know you execute to a point where you can do it, it's not going to matter. Juju limping. So
that might, you know what? And Kenya, I know you've seen this, you know, on the football field. We've both seen that type of injury. That could be something because it, you know, his ankle or knee was twisted.
His ankle.
Yeah, so
yeah. I
hope not, but we shall see.
Juju was tough though because he played through like a bad ankle injuries at USC.
Well, look at that, Vance McDonald.
Finally got, but here's the thing about Vance McDonald that I think people aren't pointing out. They aren't really realizing about the game. When the Steelers went 5 wide, Vance McDonald was not in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
When they were going 5 wide spread out, he wasn't in the game. So he can't really be effective if he's not in the game. They were going 5 wide and just trying to throw it to the little receivers. That's what they were doing. That's what Ben was doing. But you know, the point I was like you was making. The point I was making
he just dropped one.
He just dropped one. The Patriots take away. The Patriots take away your 1 and 2 options. So what Bill Belichick did today was James Conner's not going to beat us, and Juju Smith's not going to beat us. So he took those 2 people away. So now those other people, Dante Moncrief, because somebody said why he keeps throwing Dante Moncrief because he's open.
Yeah,
right.
He's dropping the ball. So he's disappointing to me. You know, you might have to put Jay Watch there, and you know, I can't really say his first game jitters for Dante Moncrief because he's a veteran. So it's hard for me to have that type of sympathy for him. I mean, Jalen Samuels is dropping balls.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know, I was just listening to what you were saying. How people say a lot of times that they're unprepared. They were prepared, but they're just not executing. I just think that, you know, I know you guys I know you guys see exactly this all the time. It's just, you know, you're just tired of the same movie all the time.
Yeah.
You know, every time, you know, you play that team, somehow or another that they are executing and you're not. There's a problem when people are not executing. There's a problem. You know, you know, it's a constant, you know, miscommunication. There's a problem when people are not executing plays. Then you got to begin to look at, you know, you got to look at the players and the coaches of why it's not happening. You know, why there's no communication. I mean, I don't know, but it has to stop happening. Like, I hear exactly what you're saying. There are the New England Patriots. You're right. Only thing that I see differently, like I said, you have Tom Brady. That's the same quarterback. Roethlisberger, the same quarterback. I mean, he's been there for a long time too. I mean, I'm just looking at a new offensive line, and like they block for him. You mean to tell me that some rookies, and you got two big veterans like Tuitt and Cam that can't get in there and pose any type. It was like Cam and them seemed like they was JV today. I know that they were like executing. You know, I know the offensive line was just doing little different things, but it was sad tonight. I'm just telling you, it's sad. And I know, like you said, not to draw any conclusions, but I mean, do you see this getting any better throughout the year? Or let's say we get to the playoffs, we're going to have to play Kansas City, and we're going to have to play New England again. Are you optimistic that we're going to win those games? We have to start executing.
Yeah, I will agree with that. But let's be honest. I mean, we have kind of alluded to this. This team is not the same team. There's new pieces. Right. There's young pieces, and this could be the downhill spiral. I mean, it could be. It sucks, but
let me ask you real quick this though, Kenyon. But you see certain teams that how come this? I mean, I know it's just the New England Patriots and stuff, but how come they are consistently doing this every year for 20 years, and we've been winning consistently too, and yet they keep it going? So it's like it's hard to almost hear that when there are teams that are doing it, and yet we're not doing it. It seems like that's a problem.
But what the Patriots are doing has never been done before.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
You're talking about they are the outlier of the whole situation. They're a team that and really the only two constants of this whole era is the coach and the quarterback. So
you're right.
So if you look at it, if you try to look at it from that type of context, you have to look at it and say, well, if Brady is not there, are the Patriots successful? They would win, but they wouldn't be successful. They wouldn't be successful. They would lose. They would lose more. Yeah. It's the coach and the quarterback that's the main constant of this whole era. The thing is that as long as you have those two things, and Bill Belichick understands something that I think some teams don't even understand. The two most important things to Bill Belichick are his offensive line and his defensive line. Just look at what he does. Yeah. Because he knows he has a quarterback that he has to protect, and that defensive line has to be able to get pressure, and be able to stop the run, and be able to and have versatile players. The defense that he's running, where everybody's kind of versatile and stuff, is the same defense the New York Giants used to run back in the day with Lawrence Taylor. He doesn't have Lawrence Taylor on his team, but it's the same defense. The defense is kind of like, I use this analogy. I don't know if you remember UNLV back in the day with Jerry Tarkanian and all that stuff, but they ran a defense that nobody else could duplicate. You understand what I'm saying? Like, their defense was so crazy that you couldn't duplicate it. No team could duplicate it. That's what the Patriots do. They adjust. They can adapt. They can adapt every possession. The Steelers 5 years ago could not adapt every possession. Keith Butler was not going to adapt in a game.
Right.
They finally got to the point where the Steelers, where they do adapt. They do adapt, but the problem is that he's better at it than you are. So you have to execute and really execute your game plan to beat them. It's just reality. Last year we executed our game plan not to perfection, but we played so well that we actually bothered Brady. You know what I mean? We got pressure on Brady. He threw picks. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a home away thing. It's like Pittsburgh. It's their bugaboo. Like when they come to New England. You know, some places you go, you just can't win. Pittsburgh can't win. Don't win when they go to Oakland.
It's just funny, man.
It is what it is.
It's funny reading the chats, and I think this is a good time. We'll grab one of the calls. It's just funny how, like Kenyon said, and for anybody who wants to know my feelings, it's week 1. I don't know if we're gonna end up being horrible or if we're gonna end up being. I have no idea. I just can't. Again, I'm not telling people to live like I live, think like I think. I can't make the call right now. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all automatically, oh, we ain't gonna make this. It's week 1 against the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Yes, we look bad. We absolutely did, but we've seen this happen the last few years. We've started off super slow, and then somehow we start getting better. And I agree with Tony. I don't like the same story about the Steelers, but I can't act like I'm not used to seeing it. And the Patriots they're basically the Bulls of football. I mean, they are that team. They do this to everybody. I mean, it just sucks because it's our team that loses, but they do this to everybody for the most part. And I want to say this too. Some other things y'all are saying in the chats. Y'all already saying the Ravens gonna take. Like, how do y'all know all this? Just because they beat up on the Dolphins? And then I seen people in the chat saying the Browns scored more points than we did. They played a different team. I mean, but I'm not gonna get riled up. Everybody's opinions are cool. I'm just saying, as fans, guys, don't jump off of just don't jump off the bridge today. Wait a little while. If we go 0-6,
I want them to jump off the bridge, please.
If we go 0-6, then I could understand. Or if we end up,
right.
But now, okay, 0-1. What happens if we beat Seattle and we 1-1? Then what are y'all saying on the show? Because I'm gonna be watching and find, I'm gonna be paying attention to what some of you guys are saying here. And last thing I was saying, in 803, we're gonna bring you in. Honestly, I can't wait till Tomlin gets fired for this very reason. So you guys won't be able to use that excuse again. I can't wait.
That's right.
I was thinking that. Yeah, exactly.
I like Tomlin. I appreciate what he's done for us. Yeah, sometimes he doesn't do the best things. Of course, none of us agrees with everything. But I can't wait for the day when Tomlin is gone, Ben Roethlisberger is gone. Then I want to see who y'all talk about then. Because everything is Tomlin's fault. Everything is Tomlin's fault. So, all right, 803, you know the routine, man. 2 minutes or less. Don't make us have to cut you. You're live. What you got for us, man?
Hey, brother, it won't be long tonight.
What's up?
I swear, when you've been beaten by the same man and the same team the same way so many times, it looked like you would go in the game with a different plan, or at least be able to make the adjustments. We knew that Cameron Kelly, if he was going to start, was going to be picked on. I didn't expect our offensive and defensive line to be beaten at the point of attack. Thought that was our biggest strength, offensive and defensive line. But I didn't think my man in Moncrief was going to be looking like Justin Hunter out there tonight either.
Yeah, man.
I swear, he looked like Justin Hunter, run down the field and drop the ball. But that's about all I can say. The only thing I can say is, hey, no other team can do to us, or hardly any other teams can do to us what New England does to us. So next week, it's going to be a different week, different game. I can't say take the tape and burn it, but I don't expect Russell Wilson to be getting rid of the ball in 2 seconds on us either. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. I think we should probably roll on and grab a few more of these, man, because I see the time is going very fast. We already at about 39 minutes. But I did want to comment on something really quick. Yeah, Devin Bush, listen, the worst thing he did tonight was he bid on play action quite a bit. He did look good. He did look good in pass coverage. And, he made a play in the middle of the field that we know that don't usually happen. He's going to be all right. And somebody else also says we ain't really see or hear anything bad about Steven Nelson.
No,
so
that's true.
He might have had a good game. I can't wait to watch the film. All right, next up, 818, 2 minutes or less. You're live. What you got for us?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
What's up? Hey,
What's up, man?
I've been following y'all for a minute, man. I'm probably the only Raven fan that follows y'all.
Oh, Lord. Oh, how you feeling?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Let's hear this.
I'm feeling lovely, baby. Hey, but listen, I'm listening to y'all, right? And I think one thing that y'all may be leaving out, and a lot of people tend to overthink the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, they have some star players. I'm not going to take that from them. They have some players that can play multiple positions. But the main thing with the Belichick system is the fact that he just needs you to do one thing and do it right all the time.
And that's it.
That's all he needs. If you can go up there and moss catch everybody, I just need you to moss catch everybody. I'll get somebody else to do something else. And taking that same philosophy, that's why they have been so successful, because so many of these other teams out here, they build their teams around name and name recognition. This player can do this. This guy can do that. He can do multiple things. But Belichick's real simple, man. I just need you to do one thing and do it excellent all the time. And with my Ravens, I think they're starting to take a page with that. Because if you look at the system that they put together for Lamar Jackson, I know the Miami Dolphins is a small sample size, but everybody they put around this man is geared to this one system. And I think that's where most teams need to start getting to. They need to find that one system and simplify it. And that's all I got. Thanks for taking my call.
No question, man. Thanks for calling. I guess we'll move on, man. Yeah, go ahead. You want to comment real quick?
Let me comment on what he said. Basically, the Patriots are like the Spurs. You say to do one thing. You have to be a high IQ player to play for New England. Think about it. Think about the players that they've had in their system who've been successful. You have to be a high IQ player to play for the Patriots. So Chad Johnson goes over there, and everybody thought Chad Johnson was going. Remember when he went over there?
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, it's about the Patriots Chad Johnson cannot pick up the playbook. High IQ. You gotta have IQ to play there. You know what I mean? Because Bill Belichick asks you questions during the week if he sees you in the hallway. He won't say hi. He'll say this play right here. What do you run? He'll ask you those questions. I'm pretty sure Mike Tomlin's not doing that. Or any other coach in the NFL.
That's very possible.
So that's what it comes down to for me. It's all about execution. That's all they care about is to execute, because they don't have the most athletic and best players. They have a great quarterback whose IQ is high. He's not a great athlete. His IQ is great. So that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Everybody else has more athletes, and they just execute better. That's it.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, I'm cool with the coaching thing. I'm cool with everybody saying, oh, Butler, we all agree on that. Even if you don't like Tomlin, I'm not doing none of that defending stuff. If you like him, you do. If you don't, you don't. But if we're going to say that, it's just like Kenya just said, Belichick does this better than every other team coach in the league. And that's all I've always said. I get it that we're upset, but we're talking about Bill Belichick. They have done this to everybody. So there it is. But guys, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 calls. I told y'all, listen, 1 minute. You got 1 minute, because we can't be on here all night. You want to expedite your call, I hate to do it, but I told you it was going to get like this at some point. You can send a donation. I'll push you up the queue. But we got 9 calls right now, and I don't think we're going to get to them all. So 1 minute. Area code 256. You alive. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sam?
What's up?
Yeah, it was a rough one tonight. I was just going to say real quick, Mike Tomlin, I keep on hearing the guys, like your comments on the in your live and everything, saying, fire Mike Tomlin, trade Big Ben. I mean, do they not understand, like, if we even thought about trading, what quarterbacks out there to even
Come on.
compete? Are we gonna go get Brock Osweiler or something like that? Something like that. I don't. And then Mike Tomlin, it's only one game. What I look at is, like, if we're 6th, 7th game in, and we're still looking bad, then I can sit and say, okay, we had a rough year. But it's only one game, and let's not pretend the Patriots don't do this to us every year we play them. It's little slant routes. I mean, the little slant routes, I don't know what was going on there. You just kill. And then every time we lined up to protect the slant route, what did he do? Over the top.
Absolutely.
Every single time.
Absolutely. And I hate to cut you short, man, but we got to move and move fast. But yeah, I agree. Listen, hey, I'm all for culture change. You know, change is always good, but let's not get carried away. Area code 412, what you got in a minute or less? What you got for us?
Hey, Sim. Hey,
What's
Sim,
up?
Smitty from Pittsburgh.
What up, Smitty?
All in all, I'm not jumping off the bridge. I think the technique was horrible, giving up inside leverage on every slant play. So I'm trying to figure out why that's still happening. And also, the biggest thing I'm more upset with is Ben looked slow in reading coverage. Him just reading the defense of New England, he looked confused at times. That's what I'm more concerned with. You're getting paid $32 million a year, $33, I think. You gotta look better. You have to look better. That's the biggest thing. I don't care about the AB problem, but him looking and reading coverage, he has to improve that. And also, we got to cut Dante Moncrief. But Ben, I expect him to do better. I expect him to do better because there was one point where the defense did stop the Patriots. That's why I say at least the defense held them to field goals at times. But they got to play better. That's my whole opinion. But have a good night, and I'll be ready for next week.
All right, man. We appreciate it, guys. Go ahead.
But that's a combo issue. Like what he's saying is a combo thing. Basically, here's the thing. Because Sim was texting. We were texting each other. Sim said, "What? We ran the same play 3 plays in a row." That's the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're saying Ben, get rid of the ball, look, as I said before, Ben, they took away Juju. They were trying to take away Connor. They did not want those people to beat them. So he had to throw it to Moncrief or Washington or Deontay Johnson or Switz. Bill Belichick is fine with Switz getting the ball because he's not doing anything. If Switz runs a 3-yard out, he's getting 3 yards. He's not getting 6. He's not getting 7. He's not getting 8. He's getting 3. You know what I'm saying? Dante Moncrief was dropping everything, and that's a bad thing. But it's a combo thing, so you can't put it on Ben because he really was giving them he was really taking what they gave him, and he does that to every team. You take what the defense gives you. That's all you do.
And to say what you said, and I agree with you, the combo thing. But Sim, something that the brother brought out from Pittsburgh is something that you heard me say all the time. Now Kenyon was just saying how you have to be a high IQ guy. We never accused Ben of that.
Nope.
I've always said I never believed that Ben was a high IQ guy. And if the guy was struggling against the defense, I mean, think about this: 3rd and 6, and you throw a bomb. Man, you got to go and get the first down. Come on. But
it's going to be interesting when I watch the tape because that's going to tell a lot because I'm sure coverage dictated a lot of it. And even like with what's his name, Collinsworth was saying is like now Ben is more of the get the ball out fast and and they probably prepared for that too. Like, and that's the thing. New England probably, as they should have, prepared for that as well. So I agree. A lot of times we know the old Ben would definitely do that, but I want to see exactly what was happening because clearly when Vance McDonald was out there, Chung was putting the brakes on him. Gilmore was slowing Juju down. So
right. Actually, what you're saying, Tim, here's the thing, Tim. Actually, this is what you're saying when you're talking about the pick that McCourty got. They basically played cover 0 or safety over the top the whole game. They played man the whole game.
Yeah, they did.
And basically what they're saying, by being getting it out quick, they were saying, this is what they were saying then. We don't think any of your receivers can beat us deep, and you're not going to have the time to do it. Think about that. Because he would take the little, and the Patriots weren't going deep until they softened this up. Remember, they were just doing crossing routes, and that was killing us. And Keith Butler didn't adjust until after Patriots scored twice. So that's what I'm saying. I don't want to say it's the coaching. I'm not talking about Keith Butler because I told you what I think. I think that's the IQ thing. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. Like when I see Keith Butler, I say to myself, I don't know. I don't know if you can adjust. You know what I mean? So it's a weird thing. But it's only the past that do this. And actually, Kansas City did it to us last year. They did the same thing, but they're more explosive. So I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. So let's get back into the calls. And what we'll do, guys, is we'll take 3 at a time. We'll hold our responses, and we'll try to kind of remember and reflect on some of the things. So again, let's reduce the time to a minute or less. Don't make me have to mute you. So we're going to go in this order: 443, 267, and then 804. First up, 443. How you feeling? What is your comment for the night?
What's up, Sim? It's Gold Drip. I'm gonna get in and out of here, but I just wanted to hit on a few things. Pass rush. What I'm a Bud Dupree fan, but I think we miss Sean Davis. I know people have you either like you don't, but he had a good year last year. We miss Sean Davis. I don't know why I saw Cam Kelly with the secondary play call thing on it. I don't know what that was about.
Oh,
regardless,
man. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to school tomorrow because I live in Baltimore and the Ravens just put up the most points in franchise history, and we just got the brakes blown off of us. So that's gonna be fun. Hope you guys enjoy your night.
All right, man. I see people calling for Mason Rudolph. Listen, man. Listen, if y'all don't really watch the game and watch details, I can't really share my opinion. Y'all really think Mason Rudolph was going to do a better job out there? Area 267, what you got for us?
Hey, Tim, it's I think a big part of this was because we didn't get our run game going.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's attributed to the Patriots and what they did, or we just weren't prepared for it. But not getting our run game going, if this was week 15, I think we would have done fine. Ben would have his timing on, rapport with the new receivers, because he's got one receiver on the field that was a mainstay last year. That's Juju.
Mm-hmm.
The other 3 receivers, how many times was he on the field with them? Nine plays during the 3rd preseason game. Tom Brady played in 3 preseason games. He's the GOAT. He's not good enough to where he only has to play a few plays in the 3rd preseason game. Why? I'm a huge proponent on why they don't play him more in the preseason. We all should have saw this coming. The second that the Patriots got a 2-score lead, or when it was 10-0, I don't think that there was a rational Pittsburgh fan who saw the writing on the wall at that point.
There you go.
They have to get him in more in the preseason to get the timing down, especially without AB there and having all new wide receivers. But thanks, Tim. Have a good evening.
Absolutely, man. And again, before I grab 804, I don't want what I say to come off harshly when I say if you don't. I understand some people just watch the game. They're just fans. They're not detail-oriented with football. I get all of that. I'm just saying if sometimes I don't reply to a certain comment, that's why. It's not that I'm disrespecting it or nothing. It's just it's certain things that people say that they have. You just don't have no idea. Like I seen a guy in the comments said, cut Moncrief, bring in the Spencer guy. Okay, well, the Broncos signed him. Like, if you don't even know, you see what I'm saying? Like, so some stuff I just don't, yeah. Area code 804, what you got for us?
Alright. That's me, right? Okay, so this is how I feel. Okay, so everybody called for Tomlin's job. Everybody called for Ben's job. But at the same time, you gotta understand, Ben threw that ball perfectly, accurately to Moncrief. Lots of times. They have to get a rhythm. Mm-hmm. This is the first game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't judge everything off the first game. And yeah, we playing the Patriots and we want to beat them. But at the same time, you have to understand there's a system. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to get embedded in the system. Everybody has their own system. But see, everybody wants to doubt the Pittsburgh system when the Pittsburgh system worked for 6 rings. And everybody calling for Tomlin's job when Tomlin is a winning fucking coach.
Whoa. We gotta let you go. We gotta let you go right there, brother. No disrespect. Come on, man. Don't do that. I know we all are grown, and some of us probably do curse. I've cursed from time to time, but don't do it on here. If we got youngins sometimes listening, so I gotta mute you right there. But I agree with what you were saying for the most part. I guess, guys, let's try to keep it rolling. Let's grab maybe 3 more, and that's probably gonna have to be it. And then we'll spend a little more time. I see some people saying extend the show, but with the exception of Kenyon, who's in lovely California, I mean, Tony and I do got to get up tomorrow. you know what I'm saying? I got to get my.
Hey, brother, speak for yourself.
Oh, you off? Huh? Okay, all right. Yeah, man.
We can keep the show going.
we might stretch it a little bit, man. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's grab a few more of these. 334-678 and then 347. 1 minute or less. 334. What is your comment, gripe, complaint? What you got for us? 334.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What you got?
Yes, man. I'm very disappointed tonight. I did not watch the whole game. I cut the set off and started playing my PlayStation 4 after it was 20 minutes. I'm very shocked. We wasn't poised coming to the game, and Ben just looked like trash. And to all those that feel like Ben needs to stay, Ben has reached his point. He has reached his plateau in life playing football. It's time to move on and bring these young guys in. And all y'all that shoot bad on Dobbs, y'all need to stop.
Oh.
Y'all need to stop. Wow. Rudolph just had a good preseason year. That's good. Now it's going to come down to these 2 quarterbacks. Who's going to get the starting job? I'm not going to say throw Rudolph under the bus. I'm not going to say throw Dobbs on the bus. All I'm saying is that Rudolph had a good preseason. Last year, Dobbs had a good preseason. It's going to come down to those 2. Now, I liked it, Hodges. I liked him because he has a quick release. I liked it. All
right, 5 seconds. We got to wrap it up.
And he does not. Okay, thanks.
No problem. No, you ain't have to stop. I was just saying we have 5 seconds. I need you guys to honor that minute, man, just because we got a bunch of calls. But I'm going to hold my opinion until we get through these next 2. That's one we got to come. We got to revisit that. Don't forget, fellas.
Oh no. We got to revisit. That's topic 1.
Area code 678. What you got for us? 678.
Wow, that's foul, Sam, that you left me behind that type of a call. That's crazy. It's Jalen from Alpharetta, man. I mean, I don't even know. I'm going to try not to go in the last comment. I only got a minute. Let's take a deep breath, Steeler Nation. It is 1 game. We are not trading Ben. We are not firing somebody tomorrow. It is not the end of the world. All 3 phases did not execute, and I promise that we will be much better because we can't be much worse. 33-3 is bad, but it's not the end of the world. Let's calm down. Moncrief is not Lima Swede yet. It will be okay, and we will live to see another day. Let's calm down. As for that caller real quick, I'm not going to disrespect him because I know everybody's a fan. That's a terrible take, an absolutely bad take. I'm sorry. Ben's not going anywhere, and most importantly, not for no Josh Dobbs and not for no Mason Rudolph at this current point in time. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later.
Appreciate it, man. You guys are doing a wonderful job, man, with the time. I definitely appreciate that. And again, I'm not being the jerk, man. It's just that I told y'all this would happen. You know, I speak things into existence, and look, we got a bunch of live callers, bunch of live viewers, so we gotta be quick. You know what I mean? 347. What you got, man? What's your complaint, right?
Sim.
Yes, sir.
Sim, respect, man. I love the show. I always listen, man. Check it out. I ain't gonna be long. But between real football people, I didn't see a game plan, brother. Like, I didn't see what was the offensive game plan. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I want to hear your opinion. I'm done.
All right, cool, man. Definitely, I appreciate that. So, where y'all want to start? We'll take a break really quick from the calls. I want to answer his question, and I want to go back and reflect on. I'm gonna let Tony and Kenyon reflect on. Y'all want to do the first caller first, or y'all want to answer this question real quick?
Tony, you can go first because I'm
okay.
You can go first.
I do it real quick. Like he said, Ben Roethlisberger is not going anywhere. If Dobbs or Mason Rudolph was in this game to get to tonight, it'll probably be 59-3, okay, or 60-something-3. They're just not ready for this type of this type of game yet. And what was the second one that he was saying? No game plan.
No game plan. Yeah.
You know that there was a game plan. There was a game plan, but the players didn't execute it, and New England Patriots were better executing their part. They were better in executing their game plan, and therefore you see on the scoreboard 33-3. That's just the bottom line. Of course, we talking about a Steelers organization. We had a game plan. Mike Tomlin always have a game plan.
No, only when we win, though, Tony. Only when we win is when we got a game plan.
Yeah. I'm done.
That's it, man. It's so funny to me. It's like I'm sitting there listening to everybody. I'm sitting there saying, we did beat New England last year, but you keep saying they've been whooping us. They whooped us last year or something. It just amazes me how people have no woosah in them to understand this is a marathon, not a sprint. This isn't college football. We're not out the playoff. We have 15 more games. Relax. As far as that comment about Mason Rudolph and Dobbs, when you start quoting that Mason had a good preseason, in quotation, I'll say that again, preseason, that tells me a lot because I like Mason Rudolph, but he's not a starting NFL quarterback right now.
Right.
Nor is, and as far as Dobbs go, the Raiders game should have told you about Dobbs. That should have told you everything about Dobbs.
Man.
I don't know. I don't know. Some guys are starters, and some guys aren't starters. Mason Rudolph has the potential to be a starter, but he's not. But I would say this: he's not a franchise quarterback. I mean, I know that now. He's not a franchise guy. And people want to get rid of Ben and all this other stuff. It's like you said it best. What quarterback are we gonna get? And what are you gonna do? Tank? Because that's what the Dolphins are doing. They're tanking. They want a quarterback in the NFL draft. They're tanking for that. And so you want us to tank to try to get the two quarterbacks this year? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want either one of them. If we're gonna do that, if we're gonna tank, let's tank next year and get Trevor Lawrence. That's my tanking. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, it just interests me that it's interesting how people react to certain things. It's like, oh my gosh, week 1, and the ship is broken. We're all dying. That's how bad it is right now. It's just the sky's falling. So
it's crazy, man. It's crazy because it's like, again, I want to make sure that we get this on record because we can come back and visit this statement depending on what happens at the end of the season. If we end up being a horrible team this year, then I will have the conversation. I just don't make that decision on week 1. Remember what I said before, and I apologize, man. I couldn't do a pregame, show. I was trying to do it on Saturday. I just had so much unexpected stuff that happened this weekend. Apologize for that, but I did say on Terrible Towel Tuesday, if we beat the Patriots, don't let it go to your head. If we lose to the Patriots, don't let it go to your head. Week 1 tells me nothing about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 1 tells me nothing about the Ravens beating up on Miami Dolphins. Now, what it did tell me, Lamar Jackson did he throw 4 or 5 in a touchdown?
He threw 5 touchdowns.
Yikes. I will say this in advance. Now, looking at that, if that boy is now able to pass with accuracy, they are dangerous. That's all he needs. Is you need the threat of he can pass. If they got that and their defense can play, okay. But it was the Miami Dolphins. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Which, however, here's the funny part, and Kenyon and Tony probably ain't really gonna find this funny, but they know what I'm about to say. Watch we mess around and lose to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
That's how it always happens.
You started going there. When you started going there, I was like, yeah, that's the type of game we'll lose. You know what I mean?
But,
we got play down gene. Mike Tomlin got the play down gene in his
yeah,
play
man.
down to your opponent. You know what I mean? He has that in the system. So I agree.
Yeah, you know what was funny, and I'm surprised that Kenyon didn't laugh when the guy came on and said he's a big number 48 fan.
Oh yeah, well see, here's the thing. Look, I started saying what I'm saying, and then Sim made a comment on the Terrible Towel Tuesday. It just made it worse. Look, the 48 thing was supposed to be between me, Sim, and Tony. That was our own text messages that we had. You know what I'm saying? Sim brought it out to light. I love him for that, so it's all good. So now everybody want to jump on the 48 thing. Look, I'm not calling him his name. I told y'all that. I said it last year. Tim thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. It is funny, but he doesn't deserve the name. I'm not calling him his name. I used to call him. You know what I used to call him? So this is actually an upgrade. Probably not saying nothing. You know what I mean? I used to call him something else, and that was disrespectful. So I had to check myself. But look, I'm not calling him his name. I made a comment during the game. I said, if 48 can't beat this new left tackle, that's sad. Sim saw that and commented, and I told you, what did he do in the game? I said, look, I'm not saying nothing. All this stuff he talking about, he went to this passing clinic. I mean, this pass rush clinic. He learning all these new moves. He already got Instagram stuff with him doing these crazy moves and taekwondo moves. I'm like, yeah, you ain't using them in the game, so I don't care. You know what I mean? So I know what he is. When people say he don't have a big sack, we say
he used them in preseason though.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is people see that in the preseason,
man.
But then it came to the real game. Yeah.
I don't know what happened to that dude tonight, man. It's funny because.
Can I ask you?
No, go ahead.
Can I ask you a real question?
Yeah.
Would you take Tuzar? Do you think Tuzar Skipper got better pass rush moves than him?
Yeah, probably now.
Ooh. Yeah, I think so now. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, Adani, was he active tonight?
Yeah, I think he was.
I don't think I saw him, but I saw Chicolo quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully Skipper, what I'm hoping will happen, guys, and we're probably only going to stay on a little bit longer. We will take one more call in a minute. We'll take 480. We won't take any more after that because, guys, again, man, probably maybe another 10 minutes. Skipper would probably pass waivers. I think if the Steelers did this, it was the smart way to do it. They do it on Saturday. Skipper is not going to be a guy that's going to be on somebody's 46 active man roster. So he's probably going to clear waivers. They probably get him back tomorrow, whether that means putting him on the practice squad or putting Holton back on the practice squad. We'll see. But I think it was a smart move. I didn't like it at first, but they probably wanted to go with more speed at receiver, and also I think we clearly saw it that old boy Holton was a gunner too, so I think that's kind of what happened against the Patriots. But we'll see. Hopefully he'll come back. I wanted to comment on one thing this guy said here in the comment section. He said Lamar Jackson is a 2-year, second-year quarterback, but we said we wouldn't put in Mason Rudolph. First, there's a whole lot that you're missing in that comment. Ben Roethlisberger, number one. That wasn't the case at, the Ravens. They gave Joe Flacco as much as they could. They decided to go with Lamar Jackson. Totally different style of quarterback. So you're talking about Lamar Jackson's in that particular, their what you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Their scheme. Totally different.
Their scheme, yeah.
Than Mason Rudolph coming in and playing. And I don't personally think that Ben Roethlisberger lost this game. I just don't think that. Now, I will agree, like Tony said, maybe Ben wasn't reading certain things correctly because he was still taking some shots into double coverage. But I honestly think that the wide receivers was getting strapped. And our offense was very predictable. When we were in 5 wide, it was kind of like, well, you know what this is going to be. Look at all the formations that the Patriots threw out there. We were very, very vanilla tonight. And again, I don't think Ben Roethlisberger lost the game. So, like everybody's saying, bring in Mason. Like, what do y'all think Mason Rudolph was going to do? What do you think Bill Belichick would have did to Mason Rudolph?
Exactly.
Come on, man. y'all need to stop with that.
But it's spur of the moment. It's at the moment you're thinking that. You're thinking, maybe this guy can help us do whatever. Already giving up on the guy who won 2 Super Bowls, saying he's done, he's reached his peak. It's just funny to me. And as far as the Holton and Tuzar Skipper thing, you're right. But Holton is the one that went for the when Ben took the shot. That was Holton. That was in the route. So, that was actually a smart move by Pittsburgh. But like I told you, like I said, next year it's gonna be, to me, it's gonna be a Dane or it might be Skipper. That might be 2 people battling out for the right outside linebacker spot. But I agree. As far as Tony is correct. As far as Ben reads, but if they take away your first 2 reads, where do you go? You go to your 3rd read, correct?
Yeah.
Then you go to your 4th read, correct?
Yeah.
Who was his 3rd read? His 3rd read was Moncrief.
And Moncrief act like he was playing hot potato out there.
Man.
And guys, we're not absolving Ben at all. Yes, I was gonna say this. I saw one of you guys comment. He did miss some deep throws. I was telling Tony as I was walking home. I called Tony real quick because I was just, we was cracking up, saying, "Man, I just got to go home." And it's halftime. Getting my element real quick. Get ready for the show. And I was like, "Here's the thing. If he leads Holton a little further, hey, that might have been a catch." There were a couple deep balls that he missed. Nice, pretty one he threw to Washington. Now, I still don't know why Washington went out of bounds, man. I don't know what that was. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I thought it was his momentum. But it looked like to me he could have just kept running. That might have been a touchdown. But y'all are right. Ben didn't do everything perfectly. I just don't think we can blame Ben Roethlisberger for tonight's loss. Mason Rudolph is not ready to have played that game tonight.
No. And matter of fact, you just sitting here listening to you guys, it's sort of giving me a little bit more perspective when you think about it, when you go back. Because, when you first look at the game, you have an emotion about it, One of the things that I go through sometimes when I look at games, I'm like, I'm looking at, as far as coaching, we look at Belichick, and you like sometimes, why? You know how you say to yourself sometimes, man, why come my coaching staff can't take a page out of their book sometimes and just execute and just, you just go through the emotional things. But then when you sit back and you really look at it, you look at, like, you brought out something that was very key. I mean, you can't blame it on Ben. I mean, you can't. Was it Ben that was allowing, what's his name? The 13. What's his name? Number 13 running through the middle of the field. It wasn't him.
Oh, what? Yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't the bad on the 10-yard line. The first Josh Gordon scored a touchdown, bad tackling. It wasn't their fault on that. It was like that they were taking away everything that they said. Well, Juju is the stud, Connor is your running back. Let's see everybody else, and that's something that they've always done. Let's see everybody else beat us, and everybody wasn't beating them. And what bothered me a little bit was sometimes when I thought about it, why was Switzer in there more than Washington at first, But then they might have felt comfortable about his experience, though. So,
but Switz is a true slot. So you put Switz as the slot, and then Washington's the outside receiver. They don't put Washington in the slot. So that's why they had Switch in there. It's the argument. It's not the argument. It's the comments we made about Eli versus Switch, and how me and Sim had always said that Eli runs better routes. And if you watch the games when Eli was in there, Eli could get open. He can get open and get you 7 or 8 in the slot. He could do that. You know what I mean? Whereas like Switch, he did it all the time. Where you never see Switch doing that. And I think they may be trying to groom Deontay to be able to be versatile.
Oh yeah.
To play, you know what I mean?
We're gonna see a lot of him.
Play the outside.
We're gonna see a lot of that kid.
So, I mean, an analogy you used about it makes you think, why can't we do that? It's the same thing the Utah Jazz used to say for 2 years. Why can't we beat Michael Jordan?
You're right.
Because he's better. Because he's the greatest player ever.
Right.
That's why you can't beat him.
Yo, man. Right. My man in the chat here, he said this like 4 times now, but my man's Kaepernick to Pittsburgh. Y'all need to stop, man. Y'all just need to stop, man. Like, listen, again, I hope I'm not offending nobody, but I mean, that's what we're here for, to just give our opinion, you give yours. We all have them. But some of these things are just not rational. What are you, Kaepernick? Again, think about it. Schemes and all would have to change. I'm open for a change. Even, again, Mike Tomlin has had his tenure. What is he on, year 13 or 14, one of those? If it's time for him to go, whatever. It is not going to change the way I feel about who he has been since he's been with Pittsburgh. But I'm always open for change. Things always change in life. But y'all have to, before you plug and, pick and plug people in, you got to think about scheme changes and offensive philosophy, and all of that has to change. Even when you guys are in here talking about bring Dez Bryant, I'm like, do y'all even understand what position he played? Like, it's just not that simple. It's just not plug in Dez Bryant. For who? For which guy? For Moncrief? Dez is not, he's not that guy no more. Who's he gonna beat as an X receiver?
Nobody. That's why he's not in the league.
That's why he's not in the league. But let's grab
just being honest.
480, man, and then we'll probably call it the night. Apologize for the rest of the calls that we didn't get to, but man, it's gonna be like that sometimes. Area code 480 in 1 minute or less. What you got for us tonight?
Hello. Hey, thanks for taking my call. First-time listener and first-time caller.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, so I think our secondary lost the game for sure. Terrell Edmonds, man, I think he needs to suit up for linebacker or something, man. That guy can't cover anybody. Cameron Kelly, he was a good player on the tackles, but man, he can't cover anybody as well on the deep ball. I think Mark Barry, he looks too slow. He can't cover James Washington, nobody like that. DMC, imagine, he tear us up. Moncrief, man, he can't catch a cold. For sure. What else? I think our assistant coaches, man, they're not good enough. We can blame Tomlin all we want, but I feel like they just put on a hat, grab a clipboard, and then just phone it in. I really think there was no game plan for this game. I think they just let Bren just throw it up. Deontay Johnson, though, I think that guy's gonna be pretty good. He had a pretty good burst. I want to see more from James Conner, man. He needs to be more aggressive. He was off. I feel like if James Conner hit a few Patriots, man, could have, gave us some life.
Yeah, we definitely should have ran the ball a lot more, man. I appreciate your call. A lot of points you made there. Again, guys, a lot of times when we say things like unprepared, no game plan, that's just personal opinion. Like, we know that's not true. We know, I mean, let's just be honest. We know that's not true. Just let Ben go out there and throw it up. There was a plan. The Patriots had a better one. The Patriots neutralized it. Again, for guys who feel that way, and again, I'm not picking fun at your call. I appreciate the call, but for people who feel that way, let's have that same energy when we win games. Because I never hear this when we win a game. I didn't hear this. Oh, last year, I did hear that when we beat the Patriots. Oh, we were so prepared. So why would we not be prepared this time? The difference is our plan didn't work, and we don't seem to have, I will say this, we don't seem to be able to adjust very well. and we take a long time to get out of the plan before we start. Like, we didn't hardly see any up tempo tonight. Why? Those things, those are the things I look at. Not so much we came in unprepared. No. When we're in the game, we often don't seem to make adjustments the way that I think we should. But, you know, there you have it. Yeah, Debbie. Debbie says, I can't now. This chat is off the hook. It is. But, you know, that's going to happen. You know, that's going to happen. Everybody's not going to share the same opinion. It's just, I just want rational opinions. Like, even if somebody rationally said, this is why I think Mike Tomlin needs to go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, I would be like, okay, yeah, I feel you. I feel that. But when it's just irrational, it's nothing for me to connect to.
But that's not realistic.
Yeah, it's true.
That's not what you created. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't create that. So you being rational and Tony being rational and some other people being rational doesn't mean everybody else is going to be rational. They're going to get in their feelings, say what they feel, and leave it at that. And then you can never change that mindset.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you
you
almost
can.
got to kind of embrace it. You have to kind of embrace it, and then like let them do them. And then when certain stuff happens, you just keep it moving.
Yeah.
You just always try to be even, because when that stuff happens, it'll be another thing. It'll always be a but. You understand what I'm saying? It's like yeah, he scored 60, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But it'll always be something.
That's how they do LeBron.
So you have to, yeah, they do LeBron. Like,
LeBron is trash. I'm like, man, y'all need to cut it out. But you're right. And I love it. I do love it. I mean, I sit here and joke on y'all, but I do love all the different opinions. It's just some of them are just completely hilarious. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, we're probably going to wrap up here, guys, in about 2 minutes, but when he talked about Terrell Edmonds, I don't know if I feel that way about Edmonds at the moment. I think tonight, more of the coverage from what I saw, the issues were a couple guys. It was Cam Kelly, it was Mike Hilton, and a lot of times Mike Hilton not being on the same page with one of the safeties, because there was a play where it looked like, you know, Hilton was playing more of an outside technique and pushing him inside to Edmonds. I don't know what happened to Edmonds on that play, but still, here's my problem still. In those scenarios, Hilton is still getting blown past off the line. We saw that in preseason.
Yep.
He's not offering no resistance. So, the jury's still out on Hilton.
Do you think that's the reason why you haven't seen him get a new contract? Think about that.
Yeah.
Because if you want to have a real conversation about Mike Hilton, he hasn't really played well since the end of last season.
Yeah.
Remember, he was getting snaps taken away last year. So my question is that I know he came in and he flashed and he played well, but he was only good to me. He was only really good when he blitzed. You know what I mean? When Keith Butler would bring him off the edge. So here's my thing: is he really a great slot guy, or is he just the best slot guy we had at the time?
Good point.
Yeah, I'm starting to go to the latter, what you said at that time.
Yeah, I'm just I call it like I see it. Like, the stuff in the preseason was alarming, and then to watch the game today, I said to myself, I was going to point out the Mike Hilton thing during the game, but I was just like, I'll just wait, because if he gets beat again, and he did get beat again, I said, that's twice. So, is he a great slot corner, or is he just an average slot corner on our team, and we don't have a real true slot cornerback? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, like you said, the jury's out for you. The jury's out for me, man. I'm really on the other side of Mike Hilton. I don't know if I'm a big fan of him. You know what I mean? He's almost at the stage I might have to start calling him 28.
Go start calling him Michael. He can't get the cool nickname no more. Michael Hilton.
Michael Hilton.
Yeah. You ain't Mike. You ain't cool, brother. You gotta earn that. Oh man.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, it's, let's not melt down. let's revisit it. I mean, if we turn out to be trash, then we'll talk about it. It's just all we're saying here is none of us are making any excuses. It was a horrible game. Defense looked bad. It looked like guys was miscommunicating. Cam Kelly just looked completely lost. And I understand even Edmonds on one play. And see, here's the difference. This doesn't make you trash on that play when they showed that Brady looked him off. That's what the greats do. I mean, anybody can be looked off. That's safeties. That happens. So I'm not going to call trash on that. But what encouraged me about not Mike Hilton, Terrell Edmonds is how he blasted Josh Gordon. That's how I want my safety to play when the ball is in the air. Gordon held on to it, but he was there to break that ball up. He wasn't, remember Mike Mitchell used to be miles away. He was there. If I could keep seeing plays like that, like the pass breakup he had against Tennessee in the preseason, if we keep seeing that, I'm cool with Mike Hilton. And maybe when Sean Davis gets back, the communication is better back there. But I'm not ready to call it yet. I think we have the potential to be okay. It's just too bad we had to face big bad Brady and Josh McDaniels with all his tricks. So we'll see, man, how we do against Seattle.
I mean, the bottom line is that the Patriots expose all your warts. That's what they do.
They do.
If you have warts, they expose them. Other teams can't really expose them like that, but they will. So it's kind of like, I agree with you with Edmonds. I actually like the way Edmonds played. And like you said on that Tom Brady play, look, man, he took one step. That's all he did. He took one step, and that was it. The play was over with. But remember, if Sean Davis comes back, that means Hilton's not in the slot. Because remember, they started putting Cam Kelly in the slot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, man, and we shall see. We'll see how these boys rebound. I'm not even going to argue the coaching thing no more, because even if it is that's not going to change mid-season. So, at the very best, we're looking at somebody being fired in the offseason. So, it's irrelevant, really, to say so-and-so needs to go and all that, because we got 16 more weeks of this. And maybe we got longer than that if we happen to sneak in the playoffs. Who knows? But
who knows?
That's all. That's pretty much all we got. Oh, shout outs to Smooth, and there was another guy who dropped a donation. Jesse George, appreciate you guys. Throwing a round of applause. You guys will hear that in a moment. Man, anything else we want to cover before we get out of here?
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think. It looks like we talked about everything.
Well, I mean, we did. I mean, we talked about it. Look, everybody just relax, man. You know what I'm saying? They beat us. It is what it is. I know you expected something different, but it's one of those things where we can, like Sim said, you can grow from this. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to have that discussion, last year we were like 7-2. And thinking we were going to the playoffs. You remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody was all happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't make the playoffs. So if you're gonna judge somebody on the first game of the season, hey, that doesn't predict your future. So, Baltimore looked great today. They may look terrible next week. Cleveland looked bad today. They may look good next week. So it's one of those things where you can't judge it off one game. This isn't like college football. So just let our people grow. I do agree that we need to run the ball more, but here's the problem. The Patriots forced us to not run the ball anymore, because when you're down 20-0, you can't really run it like that anymore.
Right.
So
that's right. That's
why you go 5 wides. That's why you go empty backfield. That's why you do all that stuff, because you're down 20-0. You know what I mean? It's the pass offense isn't like a dynamic offense, but what they do is they suck you in with that run. They'll keep running until you get to a point where you bite on certain things, like Bush did on that rookie play where Brady exposed them. But to me that was good. I'm glad Devin Bush got that, because now he knows. Look, we in the NFL now.
Yeah.
This is a whole different world. So I want him to get all the exposure he can, and then hopefully he'll be starting by midseason. Sim, I told you about Mark Barron, my concerns with Mark Barron. I said the Rams were taking him off the field in nickel coverage last year.
Yeah.
There was a reason they were taking him off the field in nickel coverage. So, hopefully our draft pick, who I think is going to start in 2 years, will flower up. That's what I hope for. But I can't worry about that right now.
That's a good point too you made about Barron. If you notice, and Brady, every time we play them, they find that matchup because it used to be Lawrence Timmons.
Yep.
They found a way.
Yep.
They was kind of going away from Devin Bush, and it was always Barron on Edelman.
Yep.
And every time, and he was like a step too slow. And it's kudos to them, man. One thing I will say, yeah, I mean, I can't even be mad. It's the Patriots. They just
you can't be mad.
They outplayed us. And one thing I would like to see us do different, because I have seen some teams do this, and it's difficult. But I've seen teams, especially down in the red area, where they switch off when rub routes happen. Like they communicate and they know if somebody comes this way, peel off, go to that guy, and it works. And I don't know, how often you could do that. I don't even know if we have the guys that are capable of doing that. But I would like to see some type of change because the film is out now. And even though it was the Patriots, other teams are going to try to replicate that. So I wish that we could play it differently, or at least we would mix in. I like the fact that we're going to play man, but when man beaters start coming out, you have to adjust. And I just didn't feel like we adjusted enough tonight, man. It just that hurt. That hurt bad.
Let me ask you a question too. I might not seeing everything. I might look at things a little different. When I was looking at it, one thing is like I agree with Kenyon. This is a long season. You always see Tomlin always talking about the journey. This is a journey. Like team might look good today, tomorrow they like. That's just what it is in football. I mean, teams develop and become better each game. This is the thing too. Also, was it me at first when you doing those man-on-man coverages? Maybe we don't have the players like you said, but if you notice that a few times that a lot of our players are playing off on those man-to-man, it's giving those a lot of space instead of putting their hands on them when they get off the line, just like New England, when they were man-on-man, they wasn't allowing a lot off. They were putting their hands on them on the line.
Yeah, Gilmore was physical. Yeah, and see, the funny thing is too, Tony, is even when sometimes we lay off, but even when we up on them, I don't see nobody press. We saw it a lot with Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden we get up there like we gonna press, but then you still allow a free release, so to speak. So what's the point of being up on them tight like that?
Right.
Here's another point too, and I know Kenyon, I know you guys don't want to hear this, and everybody that's in this chat is probably gonna throw like rocks at me when I say this. But you even though he gets he's not as I guess
don't say it.
Probably
don't even go there because I know where you're going. Don't say it. Do not say it.
Are you talking about number 25?
Do not say it. Don't even try it. Don't even try it.
Number 25 is supposed to be a man coverage guy, right?
Don't even try it.
Hey. The only problem with that, though, is we'll be tipping our hand. Because the only time I would bring him in is when I need him to just press somebody on the line. So then it's still the same situation.
You're right. Same situation. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like you said, we didn't hear anything about Steven Nelson. So to me, Steven Nelson played well. When you don't hear about him, that means they played okay.
Yeah.
Joe Hayden
That's right.
was I think Joe Hayden was really rusty. Look, let's be honest, man. Joe Hayden is not really a number one corner anymore.
Nah.
I mean, I know we gave him an extension, but he's not really number one corner. And actually, if we had another number one corner, I would put Hayden in the slot because I think he can work well in the slot still. I still think he's savvy enough and smart enough to be effective in the slot. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do. But, you know, I know they gave him an extension, but, you know, until Justin Lane develops, hopefully he's not a bust. Until Justin Lane develops or we draft another cornerback. I saw a cornerback yesterday that might be available late in the first round. And he plays at Stanford when I was watching USC game. And this kid is the truth. McShay already talking about he might go in the top 20. He's the truth, man. He's I mean, you talking about playing press coverage? Oh, that's all he does. So, and he's 6'2". So, you know I'm scouting. I scout early.
Yeah. Damn.
I was watching Grant Delpit, like Simpson. I was watching Delpit.
God.
I was watching all them dudes.
Delpit is nasty, man. Nasty.
Oh man.
Cause see, and that's the funny thing about it, and y'all two know, but maybe the chat doesn't realize. We really might be really looking for a free safety. Yes, there's no guarantee that Sean Davis is going to be re-signed. You know what I mean? So now he might be re-signed because you would think that Sean Davis he's not going to be Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave will have like some money that he can make if he tests the water. Sean Davis might not. So we might be able to keep him, but I mean, are we comfortable with Sean Davis? We'll see.
Not.
Me neither.
Yeah, me either.
Like I would draft. Like if you want to have this if you want to have a real conversation, and you ask me if we're picking in the 20s and we don't make a move, who do you take first? Do you take a pass rusher, a wide receiver, a tight end, or a free safety?
Yikes, man.
Because to me, those are all the areas of need. Those are all the areas of need right now. And defensive tackle, I don't think we're going to keep Hargrave, but we give defensive tackle in the second and third round, maybe even the fourth. So I'm not worried about that.
We probably would take. Wow.
Yeah.
This season will determine. Yeah, it's going to determine what we do because, like you said, pass rushers could end up being a Danny or Skipper could replace Bud. If that's the case and you feel comfortable with them, all right, cool. Then Sean Davis could have a well enough season where you like, you know what? Let's go ahead and re-sign him. So then that opens up another spot. So it's going to depend on those particular areas. Tight end might have to be at the high priority because I mean we ain't really hear much about Vance McDonald, even though I know some of the formations dictated that, but we definitely didn't hear from any of those other cats. You know, they ain't even get an opportunity. Whereas, you know, maybe I don't want to give Randy Fiedler too much credit because I don't know what is on his mind, but maybe the talent level and things like that dictate some of the formations. I ain't see us run the two tight end set. I didn't see us run that tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Right.
So,
right. I mean, the question I would ask you is this: you said you might re-sign Sean Davis. I asked you and Tony this. Just be honest. Is Sean Davis a playmaker?
Nope.
Well, there's the answer. Because I was already there. I was just trying to see if you guys agreed. You know, I was trying to get a different opinion.
Funny thing is,
done since he's been here that he's proven that he's a playmaker.
Nothing. The only thing he did last year, in my opinion, was he did some decent coverage, but I think it's the same thing I'm saying about Cam Kelly. Tackling was better at the safety position last year with Sean Davis. And that's the good part about Cam Kelly. He made some tackle. So maybe, you know, you might be able to keep him in the slot, but clearly him back deep, he just was biting on way too much, man. He just wasn't staying. And he wasn't staying disciplined in. And how can I phrase this, man? And I was trying to explain this to Leonard. It's not always, of course, coaches teach that. Belichick clearly drills that in your head. And it didn't seem like Cam Kelly was staying disciplined in his assignment as far as knowing what he should do in this situation. Don't be so hesitant to just jump that route. Watch it develop. And it was almost like he was making his decision so fast, he took himself out of the play. And like you said with Edmonds, Edmonds didn't really get taken out of the play when Brady looked him off. He only took a minor step, but Brady knew exactly where he was going. A veteran quarterback, he saw it, boom, get rid of the ball. That one step. That's all it takes.
Yep.
You know, so
I just couldn't understand how two safeties in the back end and just allow the guys. It was like they were thinking that, you know, like you in the zone and you know how you pass the corners pass off the wide receivers and the safety picks them up. It was like the safeties was back there and they just let number 13 just pass them. Like they just said, okay, we got help back there. Guys just passed them.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
That was crazy.
But Edmonds was closer to the box. So when Dorsett ran right through the middle. So when he ran right through the middle and he ran through the seam, Cam Kelly. That's why Tomlin was so mad at Hilton, because I think it was either Hilton passing off to Kelly. Kelly didn't recognize it. They didn't call it out, and that's why that was so wide open. That's why Tomlin got heated, because Sim pointed that out, and I went back and I said, that's what it is. That was Hilton again. See, that's my point. That's my point. Like the miscommunication, that's on the players. You know what I mean? The miscommunication is on the players. You can drill that 1,000 times. It's like telling your son, like Sim, you have a son. It's like telling your son, hey, don't touch the stove. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? And you keep telling him that, right? But he still does it, right? Because you're curious. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. It's like you know, that's on the players, man. So to me, it's Hilton, Kelly, Brady is going to expose those people. That's what the Patriots do. They expose you. You know what I mean? It's like that's what they do. So, you know, if Sean Davis is back there, would he have got beat? I don't know. I've seen Sean Davis get beat. I've seen Sean Davis get beat on the last drive of the game on 5 straight passes. So
exactly.
I don't know. That's why I don't think Sean Davis, he's not a bust, but he's just not a. You know, I'm watching Green Bay outside. I wish we would have had Darnell Savage. Like Darnell Savage to me was, oh my God, you just put him on that defense and just see what he would have been doing. Even as a rookie, they just showed the play again on ESPN. Yeah, that's Kelly. Kelly got beat. That's Kelly getting beat. He didn't communicate with Terrell Edmonds. So I don't know.
At least Winnow didn't do too much.
Right.
Because I was gonna be heated if Winovich had got off. I was gonna be and Tony is right. The offensive line was kind of, you know, getting it handed to him, but it wasn't as bad as it looked. They didn't give up, you know, they didn't really give up a sack. Ben had some time here and there, so it wasn't like they didn't dominate them. But yeah, I think it was also too, man, being in that shotgun so much, and the Patriots just knew where to send people. You know, blitz on this side, blitz this side, blitz up the middle, and it was that 5 wide was just. I mean, the routes. Again, when I'm able to look at the tape, man, and see exactly what was happening, it just looked like very basic routes and basic decision making by Ben against. I really want to see what was New England doing on defense to take everything away, because we couldn't see that from the TV view. But good Lord, man, we had an hour and 43 minutes. You know, I didn't say it, you know, at first, but I knew it would go longer, guys. Obviously, with a panel, and, you know, no big deal. You know, a little less sleep, I'll be all right. I ain't got to get up till 7 o'clock. But I guess we'll go ahead and shut it down, man. I'll throw it to Tony and Kenyon really quick. Just any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, I'll say this real quick is that, just like something that we just said, this is the first game. I'm not going to panic. I didn't like what I seen. I'm tired of losing. I mean, it's just, you get tired of losing to the same team over and over again in the same spot sometimes.
Yeah.
But just like you said, it's the first game. Shouldn't panic. You know, I mean, you look at like New England last year, get blown out by the Kansas City Chiefs, and then wind up winning the Super Bowl. So anything can happen. You know, we just got to take one game at a time and just appreciate the journey as time goes on, and just hopefully we won't have another game like this, you know, because next week we will be seeing the Seahawks. I mean, they're not the Legion of Boom of time past. They are a physical bunch, so, we will see.
The Seahawks defense is not what it was. Big Red just passed 400 yards today on the road. So without a number one receiver, so it's not the same type of team. Russell Wilson will hold on to the ball. He doesn't get rid of it like that. He looks he likes to throw big target, big plays, and all that stuff. They do have DK Metcalf, who to me is he's a one-trick pony, but he's still big and fast. But I'm not panicking. I was cool. I told Sam during the game, I'm cool. I just try to look at the game, and I think me, Tony, and Sim, we're all alike in this way. I try to look at the game and not let my emotion take over. Everybody's human, and it does happen in certain situations. But I try not to look at the game like that. I try to look at it as who I'm playing, and I say to myself, the Patriots are the gold standard. You're trying to get there. They're already there. They're chilling. They're good. They're a king. They're like John. Like Jon Snow. They're a king right now. We're trying to get there. So we're a bunch of little fingers trying to get there. We're scheming and doing all the stuff we need to do. So it's kind of like I'm cool with it. I'm not wanting to fire everybody. Everybody knows my feelings on certain players, and I'm good with that. But it's just everybody relax. Let's let this season go. You can have an opinion. You can have a nice little judgment on the team maybe after 4 to 5 weeks because you kind of know where they're going. You have a general vision of where they may go. So, I'm good, and it's all good.
Pretty much. That's all I got too, man. We'll see. We'll see. It's week 1, and we'll either, in a few weeks, we'll be feeling better about the team, or we'll feel worse. That's all I'm saying. And I know some people will say, "See, I told you." It's impossible for you to know after one game if the team is going to be trash or not. That is impossible. Even the living proof is in the Steelers. We've seen the Steelers turn the corner multiple times, even times when we went on a Super Bowl run. So you can't give me that. Don't be one of those guys if we end up being bad. I told y'all week 1. No. It's impossible for you to know that after one football game. Like Kenyon said, Patriots got spanked last year. Started 0-2, I believe, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. And the worst like record that they've had in years. What they ended up like 11-5 or something like that, or 10-6.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
They won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, guys, I will be back on Tuesday. Hopefully, I gotta make sure that it auto added my my Game Pass. If not, I'll take care of that. So I should be able to have the footage on Tuesday. We'll look at a few of the plays. I'm pretty sure these touchdowns will be the main ones we'll look at just to see what happened. We'll prepare for the next opponent, and then that'll be it. So, like always, appreciate you guys calling in. For everybody who called, for those we couldn't get to, I hope you guys understand. But thanks to my brothers Tony and Kenyon for joining in on the panel. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, cut on your notifications. If you feel the need to donate, you can definitely do so on YouTube. As you saw guys did tonight, click the $ in the chat. If you prefer to do it elsewhere, there's information in the description for PayPal and Cash App. Always appreciated, never required, of course. But outside of that, I am going to sleep. Let's stomach this for the next hour or so for you guys who are going to stay up. I'm going to be over it after I wake up tomorrow, man. We got to move on to the next week. Ain't nothing we can do about it. They whooped us. We got embarrassed. Maybe that will wake us up. We'll see. But all right, that is the show. Thanks for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. God bless. Good night. And we'll catch you on Tuesday. Peace.